Hi there, you guys. So, it's February already, and I want to talk briefly about the 2, 4, 6, 9 books on the TBR for this month. There is one additional book that I'm just going to briefly mention, but I'll get there in a minute. So, there's a couple book club books in here. There's a couple rereads in here. But anyway, let's get started. So, the first book that I just want to briefly mention that I will be reading over the next 2 months is actually a textbook that looks like a book. Ancient Greece from Prehistoric to Hellenistic Times. This is my textbook for the Ancient Greece class that I'm taking right now in school. And we'll be reading the entirety of it, and it's a book. So I'm going to count it towards my reading goal. So there's that. But yeah, I just want to briefly mention that that is technically on my TBR, but it will be finished in March once I finish the class. And then the next 2 books that I will briefly chat about. They're in a different order here. Hold on. And that is The Lightning Thief and the Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, books 1 and 2 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I'm doing a reread. This reread may end up stopping at some point. I'm half tempted to just put a pause on it right now anyway, because I have already watched the entirety of the TV show, which was amazing. And that was the point of doing a reread. And then the other point of doing the reread was to get ready for the 6th book. But actually it takes place post Heroes of Olympus / post Trials of Apollo. So I don't know if I'm going to do a full reread for that book. Because if I do, it's going to be another 1.5 years until I get there, and I kind of just want to read it soon. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to do a reread for sure of Lightning Thief, but Sea of Monsters and the rest of the books may end up falling off that reread train. I haven't quite decided yet, but I wanted to throw them into this video just in case I end up reading both of them. But yes, I'm for sure going to finish this reread. I just started it like a week ago and just read like a quarter of it in one night, or a 1/6 of it one night, however much I read. Anyway, so anyway, these are rereads, but they might not end up happening. We'll see. Then I've officially started technically a reread of Trials of Apollo. I am going to be listening to all of these audiobooks because this series is narrated by Robbie Daymond, who I love. He is in Critical Role for a little while, and he's just an excellent voice actor and an excellent man, and he gets to narrate Trials of Apollo. And when I found that out, I was very excited and immediately was like, does my library have all 5 of these? And they do. So that is how I'm going to be reading Trials of Apollo, is by Robbie Daymond being Apollo, which is the best thing in the world, and he's very fitting. So yes, that is what I am doing with this series. So I am reading it. This one is a reread because I technically read this one 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I have no idea how long it's been, but I don't remember any of it. I'm reading it like it's for the first time because I do not remember any of this book, but I'm very much enjoying the audiobook. There's that. Next, which one do I talk about next? I'll just go down the stack. Cursed by Marissa Meyer. I really want to get to this book this month. It was like my cherry at the end, the pot of gold that I was working to, and I just never got to it. I have the audiobook. I own the audiobook for this one. I have it on Audible, and I do really want to get to this book, which is the case for a lot of these, but I love this series and I love her so much. And so I'm hoping that I have time. It's at the top of my TBR, and I'm gonna have the goal of getting through this before I have to read my book club book, which will force me to finish this. So we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Then the next book is my book club book for this month, which is The Poet's House by Jean Thompson. This book, I have not read the synopsis in a while, so I'm just gonna read you the first paragraph, I guess. Carla is stuck in her 20s and working for a landscaper. She's been told she's on the wrong path by everyone, from her mom, who wants her to work at the hospital, to her boyfriend, who is dropping out some subtle hints that she should be doing something that matters. And then other things happen. I don't know. I'm going into this one kind of blind. This is one that I was highly raved by one of the people in our book club already, because she read both of them very, very early. So I look forward to getting this one, and it's fairly short, only like 300 pages. So this one should be a pretty quick read, and I hope it's good. We'll see. And then the last couple of books I have are The Duke and I by Julia Quinn, book 1 in the Bridgerton series. This is my goal for this year, is to read all of these books. I am so freaking excited for season 3. I am like itching. I've rewatched the series so many times over, and it's just made me want season 3 so much worse that I'm wondering if I can read all of the books and get to book 4 before season 3 comes out, so I can at least read what happens in the books. I don't think I'll get there, but we'll see. So I'm like a quarter of the way through this one. I'm reading the ebook of this one for now. And yeah, and I love these covers so much. And I want the rest of them in these covers. I have book 1 and book 2 in these covers, so I don't quite know how to get the rest of them, but we will see. I have to do more research on how to get these books. There's stuff on the back that might help me figure that out. So anyway, Bridgerton. Then I have 3 books that I hope I get to, but these are definitely bottom of the TBR. They can move on to next month if I don't get to them. The first one is Guts by Raina Telgemeier. I've read all of her other books. I've read all of her other graphic novels. Sisters Smiles, Sisters Drama, Ghosts. And it's just a fun graphic novel that I just wanted, and that I'm gonna just throw into this month. It's definitely middle grade, definitely it's gonna be a very, very, very fast read. But her other books were so cute, and I just figured I would throw this one in, and be an easy number ad for the month. I had it on January, and then I just didn't get to it, so moving it on to February. And then the last 2 books I have here, the first is The Other Windsor Girl by Georgie Blacklock. This is, I believe, I don't know if it's technically fictionalized. Either way, this is a book about Princess Margaret, Queen Elizabeth's sister. I don't remember much about whether or not this is fictionalized or if it's kind of a biography of sorts. I believe it's fairly fictionalized based on heavy truth. But I could be wrong. I'll tell you at the end when I finish it. But I was just fascinated to pick up this book because it's about Princess Margaret and her life, and I just love the royal family in general. I love European history, so delving into a little bit more of that modern history, I'm really looking forward to. And then the last book I have here is The Only Woman in the Room by Marie Benedict. This is a book about a woman who is a scientist. You can tell that by the inner cover here. And it takes place during World War II. Shocking that I would read a book that takes place in World War II. I know. But basically she goes to America and lands in Hollywood, and but she's also a scientist and fighting the Nazis. So very excited to get to this. It's also kind of like working at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm having it be like the last book that I will read this month. So maybe that'll also encourage me to read some of those, excuse me, other books as well. So anyway, those are the 9 books that I hope to read this month. We'll see how that goes. I have pretty good confidence. It's only like the 7th, and I'm like halfway through like 3 books. So we'll see. Sea of Monsters might end up falling off, so it's gonna end up being 8. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys whenever I upload my next video. Goodbye!